Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're all 0 viewers. Nice. That's
Thanks, guys.
great. I guess we could, since it gets recorded to YouTube anyway, we could just do our introductions. Glenn, knock yourself out.
Yep, resident skeptic. Pretty much it. Nothing special about me.
Wow, we started off like at the youth, we're like, we're this, we're that, we do this, and we hang out and do that, and we do this, and now it's just like, this is what it is. I'm Emily, the indigo child, medium-ish thing. So yeah, that's me. I help with the team on investigations and evidence and all that kind of fun stuff. Tyler?
I'm the leader and founder. I guess a medium sidekick.
He holds our equipment. He does mainly all the purchasing. We hang out at medium classes together.
That's not true. The three of us actually finally bought a nice 4K camera to record our investigations.
Yes, we did. We upgraded and got a pretty decent camera. Actually, I think we told the podcast this last week.
We very well could have, but you brought up the equipment.
I think we said we have a new piece of equipment. I don't know if we...
Yes, the podcast last week, I think you're right. I think we only did the actual...
We were shooting from the hip last.
As if we are not doing that today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a new camera. We tested it out. We went out to Ed in the Rain Warren Cemetery, which is about 2 hours from the house, on Saturday night. It was an interesting evening.
I had fun.
Tyler had fun. I couldn't feel a damn thing, so I was kind of cooped up in the truck trying to meditate, trying to find something, do something, be something, and that wasn't really working out for me very well.
Mini feed. Someone followed a minute ago. Thanks.
Oh, Alyssa. She is, for those of you who don't know if Alyssa is still on this, she is I think one of the head volunteers for Cold Nose Warm Heart, where we got all of our dogs from.
Oh.
So
nice.
She is, hi Alyssa, how are you?
Hi.
She does an amazing job with all of the volunteers there. And if anybody is watching or watching in the future, please check out Cold Nose Warm Heart. Donations are always welcome. You know, Glenn and our house is filled with Cold Nose Warm Heart. And
all 5 dogs.
All 5 dogs. So our house would not be the same without them.
And they're lacking some intelligence, but
I mean,
that's why we love them so much.
Nobody said they were the smartest dogs on the face of this earth, but they're good dogs nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Every time I look at that wall, I just see Bug just...
She is such a good dog. She tries so hard.
Yeah, she does.
So we went to the cemetery on Saturday evening. We grabbed dinner first.
Mm-hmm.
Then we headed up to, what was it, what was the town?
Monroe, Connecticut.
Monroe, Connecticut, yes. So we went to Monroe, Connecticut, and we stayed in the cemetery for a couple hours, did some investigation. We've got to go through that evidence on top of grapevines and evidence, which we still need to get through.
We need to get the videos together from Selma, the last
Yeah,
couple.
we have like the last 2 videos left of Selma that we have to put out.
I think it's going to be like 3.
Is it going to be 3? Okay, so 2 or 3
think so.
videos coming out for Selma. It has been insane. I can't even tell you how busy the last 4 weeks have been for us.
Yeah.
And it
On
feels
Monday, I blew up my Subaru.
I cannot tell you. I am like a stickler for getting things taken care of, and I knew at 104,000 the timing belt needed to be changed, and I changed it. We were coming up on 204,000, and Glenn and I had just had the conversation that it was time to get the timing belt done. And it's about 2,000 miles beforehand, and it just snaps.
202,000 miles on Monday. I'm driving. All of a sudden,
Boom.
just I feel something. I just noticed that something's off. I look down. Dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree. The RPMs are pegged at 0. I go to push the brakes. Nothing there. So all right, just click it neutral. Pull over. Put the parking brake on. Put the hazards on. Laugh a little bit and call her.
And my first answer, I answered the phone. I'm like, oh, what's wrong?
Yep. We killed the Subaru.
Not for nothing, but the day before, I said to Glenn, I'm like, we should probably, be a little bit more serious about trying to find something, because I don't think the Subaru is going to last much longer. Out to the universe, bam, it's dead.
Her exact words are, that Subaru, that Tacoma, my Toyota Tacoma, she's like, your Tacoma's going to outlast that Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
Not even 12 hours later, I killed the
But
Subaru.
You said that before.
Well, yeah, I've been saying.
When you guys got the truck, she said that same exact thing too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should sell this. We should probably sell the Subaru.
Well, I mean,
The truck had more value though. I'd rather sell the truck and use that as collateral towards another vehicle,
Yeah.
which ultimately ended up doing
no,
anyway.
we definitely got way more value out of the truck than we did the Subaru.
They offered me a couple $100 less than what I could get private value for that car when I traded it in, which is unheard of. The used car market's out of control right now.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna give me six grand for a truck with 268,000 miles on it? Yeah, all right, bet.
So did.
I will buy that Honda Accord you got there then.
That would have taken a lot less than this.
No, we would not have. Just in case Kevin watches this at any point, we would not have taken any less than
I
what
didn't
we
say
gave
you
up.
guys would have. I said I would have.
Oh, you, yeah.
200,000 miles, 6 grand.
268.
Yeah.
Well,
So what they gave me for my old car.
believe it or not, if the AC air conditioning AC compressor didn't need to be replaced and it didn't need exhaust, the private party value was $9,500 on that truck.
Like, it's insane how much money these things are now.
They looked at
And-
my old Hyundai and they're like, you know what? $300. I was like, I mean, I know it's a death trap, but $300?
Yeah, like, I'll take the car radio out and sell it for more than that. And the rims.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a little bittersweet driving the truck in to get it off of our hands.
I still miss that truck.
I mean, granted, it
I
was
don't-
one of the hottest days this week. I drove in with an ice pack under my ass because I
Yeah.
didn't want to get it.
It had no, like I said, the air compressor.
No AC, and not for nothing. I mean, the truck had been sitting for almost a month at that point. And it was hot. I mean, hot. I hadn't opened the windows in weeks. Like, at all. You get in there and you just feel the heat just beating on you. So
Like an oven.
it really was. So I ended up putting the ice pack on my butt and I drove my butt there. It's great. I wasn't that hot. It worked. What? Don't judge me!
I'm not judging anything.
So, yeah, the Subaru died, and then Tuesday we had to take care of all of that. We missed a really big event, though, on Tuesday, and we're kind of sad about it. Tyler here had a
Damn
birthday. So, unfortunately, because we were handling all of that, we were unable to meet his mom, which we definitely have to meet, and hang out with his family, his other family other than us. What's wrong?
Nothing.
So yeah, that was fun and exciting. Wednesday, I don't remember what we did Wednesday, but I'm pretty sure it was bogus.
Wednesday was not bogus.
Oh yes, that. Forgot about Wednesday.
Forgot about
Wait,
that already.
I don't know how the hell I did that.
Well, that's one of our topics tonight, so.
Yes. So, tonight's topic is all
The
about
mystifying oracle.
Yeah, it's all
Oh, wow.
about warnings, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress to you enough. If you don't know how to use something that connects the paranormal entities, do not use it. Sorry. It's not a game. So, I'm pretty sure Russ is going to be fine with this. So, and if he's not, I'll just tell him to be. So,
Russ, you're fine with this.
my best friend, Russ, calls, we went out to dinner with him Monday night, and he tells me that his renters left, but they left Ouija boards in the house. I'm like, nope, hard no. We're going to pump the brakes. Actually, we're going to slam on them real quick. So I reach out to Tyler. I'm like, I have no idea how to take care of Ouija boards. Like, I honestly avoid them at all costs. Like, there's not even...
Nope, that's not how that conversation went down. I get a message. So, we're gonna help out Russ.
Oh yeah, no, I told him.
I was like,
told
okay.
him that we're going to be doing this, but I have no idea how to handle Ouija boards.
And then-
We
Do
are
you?
going to help
Like-
out Russ.
And then
She
like an
ropes you
hour
in.
later,
Yeah.
and she's like, how do you get rid of Ouija boards? I'm like, yikes, that's what we're dealing with.
Yes. So,
Those were my exact words.
we get there on Wednesday, and we go over there, and there are 2 Ouija boards set up in the, or not set up. So what Russ did is he turned them upside down, like faced them down. Put the planchettes on top of it, I think on the one, and then the other one was like close to it or something. So we go into the house, and they're like on opposite walls. So over here was a Ouija board, like almost like an angle against each other. So a Ouija board on like a corner shelf with a drapery under it, 2 sticks of sage. And then on the other side, on the fireplace, like almost directly diagonal of it, was another Ouija board with sage and an incense burner.
Mm-hmm.
So, we cannot find anywhere what 2 Ouija boards would be used for. And it really is bothering myself. I don't know about Tyler or Glenn, but to me, it just doesn't make sense. If
One Ouija board's more than enough.
Oh, yeah. 1 Ouija board will get your job done quick. But, you know, we have this idea, and there's really nothing backing this other than trying to connect dots, is maybe they were trying to summon something and keep it trapped in between these 2 boards.
Yeah, it's all conjecture at this point because no matter what we look up, we can't find anything that ties this type of event together.
Well, I found what I thought was on that fireplace. I found that immediately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was a lot of chalk drawings, like a kid thing, but directly underneath the fireplace Ouija board, it looked like there was some kind of a symbol, and then they scrubbed it off, or tried to, like...
I put 2 words into Google, and I got exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, so...
And it matched way too well.
It's some kind of symbol that we think would be to summon something on a darker side. We cannot confirm nor deny, but it was very interesting how it was set underneath the Ouija board.
Like dead center on the fireplace.
Like dead center on the fireplace. Now, and there wasn't another stone anywhere touched with chalk. Now, there was a kid's room, and it had chalk all over the walls, which was some really weird things.
Yeah, I don't know how old the kid was, but there were some like childlike drawings, and then there was some weird stuff on there that was written by a child, but
it was odd. I mean,
actually, kind of thinking back on it, if they were sitting on the floor playing, that would have been like eye level.
Not for a kid.
Not for a kid, no.
For an adult.
Yeah.
But why would that one stone directly above a fire, or where a fireplace was or is, and underneath an altar? It doesn't make sense to me.
the whole thing still doesn't make sense yet.
No, I haven't happened.
Yeah.
I'll take one as well.
Yeah, don't stand on the table.
You're getting a look because you scratched this table, Glenn.
Yeah, in fact, your handwriting's all over it. So, anyway.
Wow.
We go
That
in,
escalated.
we sage the home, we do a blessing. And a lot of things just didn't add up. There was rotten food all over the place. And the flies were not anywhere close to the rotten food. They were all in this one window by the one altar. I can't even begin to explain how odd the whole experience was.
Right.
And there wasn't, like, you drive up to this place and you're like, oh, this is a cabin in the woods. This is weird. Right? Like, it was just super odd, super...
I think one of the first things I said when we pulled in, it's like, I feel uncomfortable.
Well,
Right.
yeah, it's like a Hell's Have Eyes situation. You're
But
out
there
in the
was
middle of
more than just the
Pennsylvania.
way that it looked. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to a skeptic.
Right.
Can you try?
I did. It's more than it looked.
Can you try to try?
It's just, it was a very uncomfortable feeling, and it was more than the way it looked. Like, that's
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt in the moment. There was no words to put to it.
Right. It was a vibe of what was there that was kind of throwing us out.
Did it just look creepy?
Well, yeah. I mean, it looked
that
creepy.
didn't help.
Yeah. I mean, that was certainly like, oh, shit's gone down in this house. But
I mean, the tenancy had made it look abandoned, and that's probably another part of...
I've been in abandoned places before, and I've never had that much of an uncomfortable feeling.
Okay.
so we have this weird house, right? I get up to the attic to start saging. I get halfway in and my sage starts to die, like it's completely running out of flame and burning. So I'm like trying to get somebody to give me my lighter because I need to relight this sage because clearly there was something up there. Not to mention it was hotter than Hades in there. I came down sweating my body weight because of how hot it was up there. While I was up there trying to sage though, I had a bunch of growling going on, so that was fun and exciting. Side note, if you ever have to have your home saged or anything like that, please do us a favor. Make everything accessible. Like everything needs to, every corner of your house, top to bottom, left to right, needs to be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
What does lighting sage do? So sage is a purifying herb that has been used for centuries. I think from almost the beginning of time, I would say. It's been known for its healing properties, to get ward off evil.
It's a naturally holy plant, isn't it?
Yep, and it's a natural cleanser. So the way I explain it to people who don't know is it's kind of like hand soap for spirits. It's just a way to like cleanse it out of your house, and the way that you should do it is go into open one window at like the last place you're gonna hit. Open a tiny crack, everything else stays closed, and then you hit every single corner, forcing it down through that window, and then it will come out of your home.
It should clear everything out. If there's anything like significantly stronger, essentially what sage does it will weaken it.
Mm-hmm.
So the more that you do it, it weakens it to the point to where it's like I can't be here. I'm not getting any power. I'm just getting broken down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just takes off.
Ends up in leaves. So we were doing that investigation, and there was just a lot of weird things that upside down candles buried outside that were completely burnt out, religious pictures folded in half. Like it just was a very weird situation. Our thought process is if there were 2 Ouija boards, there had to have been a third someplace. And they could have easily have put it underneath the house. They could have put it on top of the house. But those are places that we were unfortunately not able to get into.
Well, it definitely wasn't on top of the house, because if you stand in the front and the back of the roofs, you can see each roof clearly.
Yeah, but on the chimney itself, it looked like there was a wooden box at the top.
Yeah, I think it looks like a pizza box, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was an exhaust vent.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and you were getting pulled towards the top. I was getting pulled towards the bottom. But I wasn't going in that crawl space to find out what
Yeah,
was
the crawl
there.
space was just not an acceptable situation for
Not
any
in
of
the
us
middle
to
of
go
the
into.
woods.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if Russ wanted to go in there and do it, by all means, he could do it. But us, personally, I'm not. I crawl into spaces for very few people. To be 1,000% honest with you. I did today, but it was needed. So, something like that where I know somebody's capable of looking for it or doing something, he at least knows how to, if he finds a Ouija board, he can remove it properly. And there are protocols when you get rid of your Ouija board. Do not ever, and I am going to say this again, do not ever burn your board. Don't do it. Absolutely not. If you're going to get rid of a Ouija board, do yourself a favor, dig a hole, put the Ouija board upside down. Oh, hold on. I'm going to back up a second. Make a hole, like dig a hole up, right? Make sure that the planchette and the Ouija board are in cloth wrapped separately. They do not touch ever again. You place the board upside down, pour salt on it, no?
You want to... So, you put the board upside down, and the cloth. You can put the planchette on the back of the board. That's fine, as long as it's not touching where the words are and everything. Then you got to fill it up. Make sure there's no holes or gaps in the soil whatsoever. Like, it has to be tight. Then you put salt on top of it, preferably before like a rain comes or a storm, because then it will soak it in, and it's said to purify and bless the board. But luckily I've never had a situation where I have
or you can give it to somebody. There's people online who collect them, but quite frankly, just don't get one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's best just to never
Yeah,
use
it's just
them.
best not to use them. If you don't know how to open it and you don't know how to close it, what are you leaving in your house? What portal are you leaving for something to come in through?
Before you bury it, it has to be closed. So if someone played with it and it was left open, you ideally want those same exact people to come back, reopen a session like they normally would, and then close it out properly. Or it's just going to stay open and nothing's going to get better, and that Ouija board just might find its way back to you. Even though it's buried 6 feet under.
Yep. Absolutely. It's
Just don't do it. Like,
Really?
it's...
really...
You're opening up a gateway. You say like one question the wrong way, and it, like, is there any spirits here that want to communicate with us? That one simple question just opened up anything to come in. So it's not. Would the skeptic be up for participating with the Ouija board?
Nope.
Not in my house.
That was a very fast note for a skeptic.
Because you guys won't mess with it, out of respect, I won't touch one either.
I think there's more behind that, but I'll accept your answer.
Yeah, I'll accept it too.
No, you guys don't want me touching one. I'm sure me, and I'm sure Jesus would like to play with one. Yeah, I almost called him Jesus. Jesus.
Oh, I hope he watches this. Or he's watching. That would be great. So...
That would make you a believer real quick. Well, maybe not, because you need to have a very open mind and you need to believe in what the board is doing.
Right.
Yeah, and I have an open mind. I just don't believe in what the board is doing.
Right.
You know that old saying?
Which one? There's a lot of old sayings.
Can't say it. You put the censored version of it in the chat today. I don't remember what it said.
Oh! I'll get that, because this one was good. How to say F around and find out the classy way. You may test your assumption at your earliest convenience.
Nice.
But really, don't mess with Ouija boards. Don't do it. If you don't have any experience with any kind of paranormal and you don't know how to open or close the board properly, don't do it. Just don't.
I know what to do.
We just don't.
But I don't. I was in the same room as a session, and they started off by trying to warm the board up with figure eights. And I'm like, nope! Let's back this up. It's clockwise.
We're not telling any more of anything of how to do anything.
But don't open it with figure eights. I'm like,
Don't open the board. If you don't know, don't touch it.
Actually, it might be figure counter.
We don't know. Don't listen to anything he's saying because he doesn't know what he's talking about either. So
it's been a while since I had to look into how to open a board properly.
Well, we don't need to open a board.
I've never opened.
Okay, well,
it's just in the presence
saying.
of it.
I mean, not for nothing. That is something we will have to research, because we will and have already come across people who have unfortunately messed with those things. We'll need to know how to instruct them how to close them out, and open it up and close it out properly.
Tyler knows how to close it out properly, and he gave the right instructions apparently. So.
Okay.
We just can't get the people who were opening them to close it or to find out if it was closed.
Like I just said, he's clearly trying to remember opening it up properly.
On top of investigating this house, or not even investigating, just cleansing this home, right? Russ asked me to go look at another room that was related to this property's tenants, where she lived prior to moving into that house or hanging out in that house. We walked in and there's 666s all over the walls. There's upside down crosses painted on the wall. And I looked at the room. I'm like, oh, I'm not going in there. We need to leave. Like, there's nothing we need to do in here.
Let's just
and nobody decided to follow me. Nobody listens to me when I say we need to GTFO. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I start walking to the back of the trailer, and I get 3 scratch marks down my arm. I'm like, okay, guys, do you see this? This is time. This is time for us to get out.
I'm not big on running immediately. I'm not big on running at all. I'm definitely not big on running immediately.
I'm
gonna
not
walk
big
into
on
a
running
space,
either. Clearly, look
look
at me.
at it and be
but
like,
still.
I gotta get out of here. No.
Yeah, but when something with an upside down cross links up to what I just experienced in another home about 200 yards away, things tell me it's not a good idea.
And I'm perfectly fine if you want to leave the premises or go outside. I'm still going to investigate.
But if there's something that I need to get out, maybe everybody should be following.
I will agree to disagree on that one.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, do we need to walk into danger, so to speak?
We're investigators. That means we investigate everything.
I wanted to know what was in the closet, and then I found something else that just tied in even more. I mean,
Exactly.
I wasn't staying around much longer to find out what was going to happen if I did, but you saw those walls. There was more to that room than what met the eye.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, there are the black patches behind the wall.
I didn't even see
Or
them.
behind the door. Can you show him? I don't... Oh, you don't have your phone.
Nope.
There were black patches of paint painted. And I'm telling you, there were sigils underneath that paint.
Probably. Don't draw sigils.
Oh, and don't draw sigils. If you don't know about it, don't do it. Don't be about it.
If you know about it, don't do it.
Right. Like, don't be that person. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it was just a really messed up situation.
And they're summoning cave trolls with these fucking sigils and everything.
I'm just going to point out you dropped the first F-bomb.
Hey, listen. I gotta have my turn, right?
So, yes, we went through this investigation, this cleansing, this mind-bending situation. Like, there's no other way to really say it.
Where can we watch the episodes? We actually don't have episodes of this. This was
So,
something done
yeah.
for one of one of your best friends, and
Yeah.
And if you're talking about Solomon Mansion, those are on YouTube through our Facebook page.
we do have more videos of that coming
Yes.
soon. And when we have another whole investigation, we gotta look through.
Yeah, we just
But-
did one a few weeks ago, and we have yet to start that because we still have so much footage from Solomon Mansion.
Right.
We're,
Well,
like,
we're done now. It's just a matter of putting
Putting
it
them
all
out
together,
Yeah,
and
putting it all
uploading it.
together.
But, you know,
Yeah.
like anything that we do, like personally, like this is
Yeah.
for one of your best friends. Ask us to go look at it. We're not gonna put any episodes up of it. The only
Yeah.
reason why we're talking about this particular situation is because it was one of your best friends, and
Right.
and not only that, it's a cautionary tale. There's
Yeah.
like things like people shouldn't mess with stuff.
You know, and
I'll caution on this. I'll err on the side of caution with something like this.
And anytime something secondhand comes into your home, regardless of who gives it to you, cleanse it. It's not going to hurt to just roll some sage around on it. Anytime a mirror comes into your house, you need to sage it. Anytime anything, and I mean anything secondhand, not food or anything, but like if it's a secondhand toaster, or if it's a secondhand towel, or anything that somebody else gives you, always needs to cleanse, because you never know what dirty little thing is hanging on to it that's just rotting itself in here to make your life a living hell.
Can these like entities really attach themselves to literally anything?
Literally anything.
that's why I don't shop at junkyards, or not junkyards, but yard sales.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because you're taking some... God forbid there was a mirror in somebody's room and they died in that room. That's considered a soul transference. It can have the soul go in through the mirror, stay there, and then when it gets to a new place, it pops out and starts causing some stuff.
Alright.
So it is very important that you cleanse everything that comes in your house that's secondhand. Honestly, I would sage everything. It's just the easiest thing to do.
It's funny, we've been active for a while, but highly active in the last 2 to 3 months. And I'm not gonna say it's funny as in like haha it's funny, it's just an interesting funny.
Ironic.
No, it's not irony. But it's like usually those weren't the stuffs that you normally talk, but now as you start getting exposed to more and more stuff that you guys are coming across, it's like, you know what, sage everything.
Sage it
Sage
all.
everything. Sage it all. Don't touch this. Don't touch that.
So, really quick, something just caught my eye. I took my dog's bark collar off of him yesterday. Could not find it for the life of me today. It's on the edge of that
I
counter.
just put it over there. It was on the see that
okay.
white thing over there. It was under. It was over there under a bag.
Never mind. I thought it was my house playing games with me again.
Nope.
But
Well, my house played games with me today.
yeah.
What happened?
So, first things first. I just said, no, before we do everything today, we're going to go watch a movie. We go to the movies, go watch a movie, but when I walk outside, there's a black cat across the street. The 3 years that I've lived in this house, there's never been a black cat anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, huh, that's weird. What's that I got in store for me? Not even 5 minutes down the road, there's a dead crow on the side of the road. So I'm like, huh,
Okay.
what's that I got in store for me?
Some
What's this telling
symbolism
me?
here.
So then I'm like, all right, like before I go do anything, I just want to shower and just clean up. And then
Get in
I'll
the shower.
head
There's a
out.
dead crow in there.
No, but I would have died. I was like, oh, today is not the day. We're not doing this.
Going to bed. We'll start to
30
get
pounds of sage in there, just. But I always bring my phone in with me when I get to my house, wherever. My phone's always on me.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I'll put it on where my wallet and my keys are. I'll go do what I gotta do, then pick it up, and then go to wherever I'm gonna go sit and relax.
Right.
So I'm about to go get in the shower, and I'm like, you know what? Let me ask. I'm gonna ask Emily something. Give her time to see it, and then by the time I get out of the shower, I should have an answer. Couldn't find my phone anywhere. Nowhere. It was nowhere. So I'm like, no. I retraced my steps in the house like 15 times. I'm like, okay, I must have left it in the car. I go in my car and it's not there. So I'm like, whatever. I'll shower. I'll worry about it when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So I get out of the shower and I retrace my steps in the house.
Area.
It's nowhere. So I went into my brother's room and I told his Amazon Alexa to dial my phone number. So I would call it and I would hear it if it was around. So I didn't hear anything in the house. I'm like, okay, that's odd.
Come here, buddy.
So I went back out to my car, and I went to go turn it on because if I dropped it on the floor, the Bluetooth would have picked up that it was in the car.
Or at least close to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when I put the keys in, I didn't even turn it on. It was on the seat where I looked before. And then I picked it up. I'm like, huh. And then once I picked it up, the phone started ringing from the call, from when I told it to call.
Yep.
It was like a 5-minute gap.
From the Alexa in the house. Really?
Yeah. The second I picked it up, it started. I'm like, huh. And I look, I'm like, well, I don't know how exactly that works. Maybe if it fails, it will try again. I didn't think so, but there was no missed calls. There was nothing. Once I picked it up, it started to ring.
We have another comment.
Is it religious when it comes to saging something?
No.
No, you just have to believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saging, you have to believe that it's going to work or it's not going to work. If that makes any kind
Yeah.
of sense.
Well, that confused the heck out of me now.
So if you're just saging and you're like, I was just told to do this, I don't believe this is going to work. You're not... You're being negative about it.
Okay.
So whatever you're trying to push out knows you don't believe in it.
Because it
It's
feeds
gonna-
off of negativity?
If it's a negative entity, yes.
Oh.
So just believe that what you're doing is going to work, and then it will work. It's like it's like, I'm going to use this.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. You click your heels together.
It's kind of like how I explained with you. It's like the Ouija board. You're not a believer in it, so it's probably not going to work. You have to believe in what you're doing. We go into a location, if you're not open-minded and have an open sense to it or believe in it, then nothing is going to happen to you.
Okay.
Believe.
You have to believe.
So yes, this week was very interesting, to say the least.
We didn't
I mean,
touch
Tyler and I were
everything.
talking about it today on our way to another cleansing, and to even go over how weird just even the feeling this week was. Now, if you're on TikTok, there's a thing called Witch Talk, where there's a bunch of Wiccans and spiritual people who talk. Sorry, guys, my puppy's acting puppyish. Oh my goodness.
6-foot dogs acting like a puppy.
He's gonna find that. So, according to Witch Talk, there was a veil that dropped, which is the wall between our world and the spiritual world. Apparently, it dropped this week, which would make sense because this week has been one of the weirdest weeks I've had in a very long time. Granted, we're coming out of a huge Mercury retrograde, and this last week has been incredibly weird because we've been shifting energies to begin with. So we're going into this new plane and this new astrological time. It was just, weird is the only word that I can use to explain how this week was. Today, too. Today was just...
Yeah, going back to last Saturday when we went to Ed and Lorraine Warren's burial site. It's just weird occurrences ever since.
Super weird.
We gotta go back though.
Yeah, now that I might have figured out what's going on and I'm able to connect.
I apparently saw something that I didn't know was there, but Lorraine has also seen it when she's walked through those grounds. So that was a cool thing for me.
Do we plan on publicizing any of that video, or
If we get anything.
Yeah, if we get
okay, all right. Yeah, keep
But
my mouth shut.
that wasn't on video. That was just something that I saw.
Oh no, not that. It was just the one weird occurrence of the name. So
Yeah, even if it's just a mini video.
Yeah, it's something at least.
Oh, good, you found another one. Let me have that.
Put him outside. Throw it outside. Just throw it outside. Let him go outside.
He's gonna
with it.
barge right back to that.
He is going through a growth spurt, so we have a great amount of energy with this puppy right now. And it is gone nonstop all day long. In the middle of the night, he just gets up, starts chewing on his bone, ripping it apart. Oh, he is a hot little mess, man. I'll tell you what. At the beginning of the podcast, I said he came from Cold Nose Warm Heart, and he did. He's a great dog, and I love Cold Nose Warm Heart. But I love how they told us he's only going to be 30 to 40 pounds. Yeah, he's like 50. He's certainly 50. Keeps growing. He is currently on 4 cups of food a day. It's ridiculous on how much food we need. My husband's currently trying to kick him out the house because he's just being bonkers through the entire thing. But, yeah, he's, I don't know. Glenn calls him my familiar, and he definitely reacts whenever I get fussy. That's for sure.
oh yeah, no, he's joined you on more of a level of feeding you off your energy and everything.
Well, I mean, he's the size of a horse, so...
He's getting there.
Fitting.
Fitting, right?
Right.
So, yes, we did a house cleansing today. There won't be really anything other than us talking about it, and we're not really going to go too much into that.
We did a cleansing,
either.
that's it.
Yeah, that's all we're going to really go over. I decided to start doing some research into, what we're looking at in the paranormal world. I'm going to be the jack of all trades, master of none. Master of none. We're just dealing with it.
Yep. Say the full quote. Jack of all trades, master of none, but a master of many is better than one, or something like that.
Master of many is better than one. Yeah, something like that. So there's no way to really become super efficient at one topic.
Yeah, so just to put this in perspective, there's a book on demons and demonology, and this book is never ending. Like words from top to bottom. The
And
text isn't that big.
You better memorize that by next Friday. There's a test.
Yeah.
I said it quietly.
So, anyway, to become really good at one topic when talking about anything supernatural is almost damn near impossible. That's why I think there's so many specialists in our field. I guess focusing on just one is a good idea, but I'm trying to get a little knowledge on all of it so that we don't end up, I don't know.
A little knowledge and everything's only going to build after each thing that we do.
Right.
Yeah.
True. But
You'll always get the experience you needed. Right after you needed it.
the puppies decided to lay down. Everybody take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. So I think we have a really good network when it comes to who we can contact if we have questions. We belong to a paranormal research group that I think has like 50 to 60,000 people in it. And
So,
Nick Groff's page.
I think it's only like 27,000. I don't think it's.
Oh, I thought it was bigger. Okay, so it's more than 1,000 people to the
That's
page.
still a lot, yeah.
But, they're all investigators, and there's a way for us to get answers for things that we don't know.
Can you ever detect animal spirits?
There are people that can. I, unfortunately, cannot. I don't know if you can, Tyler.
Certainly felt one at Selma. That's coming soon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's coming. But in terms of being able to connect to an animal, like an animal communicator, we, unfortunately, do not harness that talent at this point. I will,
maybe
though.
in the future.
It's possible.
We're developing, so I mean.
I am trying to nail down a date to get a Miss Jean Rockefeller, who is a very well represented animal communicator. She's helped me with all of my dogs, all of my horses, and she's a wonderful lady. I met her a couple years ago when I had my own radio show, and I did several interviews with her, and she's just great. You can look her up. I think it's Gaia Garden, or you can just Google Jean Rockefeller, animal communicator, and it will pull her website right up. We're trying to get a time for her to come in and do a video call with us so that everybody can see, and we can interact with Jean and ask her questions. She might even be able to connect to one of my animals or your animals, or however we get to do it. But Jean, we will be having on the show at some point. It's just a matter of nailing down some time over the summer with her.
I think the only time you really had those sights of animals, or however, is your old dog Marshall and Evie when she passed.
Well, Evie, yeah, so, I mean, my connection to my dog is because I've had her for 13 years. Unfortunately, she passed away in December, and out of the corner of my eye, I'll see her, or I swear I see her in our yard barking, or starting the barking fest between the 5 dogs. But that's more of like an owner-pet connection. I don't think that's anything I've been able to connect with anybody else's animals.
Okay.
Well, I could have sworn I saw and heard her out there the first time I came over after that happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I've also been over here a lot before that, so I don't know how much of that was like, or.
Right.
Like,
Is this residual or is this intelligent?
I mean, and what was weird is even I could have. I don't know if it's because I was so used to her being here and expecting her in certain areas, but I swore out of the corner of my eye I'd see her sitting over there over the bed, or when we were getting ready to feed the dog, she would sit there and be like coming over ready to do that thing she used to do,
The
waiting
heavy
for feet. Yeah. Or even if like you turn your head and you see that little fluffy Pekinese tail dancing as she's turning the corner.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I've never really seen or heard animals other than my own after the fact, but...
And, I mean, your animals will come back and see you. I mean, and that's a connection that you have with them. You know, I had my childhood dog for 19 years. He was a part of my life from 2 to 20. He was a solid fixture for me. And when I saw him after he passed, I mean, that was huge for me. But, I mean, a lot of my psychic friends have seen him near me, too. So, he hangs out, but I don't necessarily feel him. I don't necessarily see him. I guess it just depends on what your level of connection is for animals. And I'm sure at some point when Tyler and I get stronger and we're able to blossom our abilities to
Start
full
honing your
potential.
abilities.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say nothing's impossible for us.
Everybody has psychic capabilities. It's just a matter of you opening yourself up to accept them and to receive them.
What I'm going to say is I'm not really focused too much on communicating with animals at the moment. I'm focusing more on like the human spirit, more psychic. Like I could look at someone and be like, "You, this," and they're like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Yes." Like that's more
so
what I'm
reading
trying.
people more or less.
Right.
And then when I do the tarot, like the few people that I have given them for, and I don't know like too much what's going on in there, but they're like, "Dude, this is like kind of weird." Like my friend I was telling you about, the one who went to school for psychology, I gave him the first reading he's ever had, and I don't know like what he's doing like with his jobs or anything. The first card I pulled, and I'm like, this is what I'm getting from it, and then here's the book definition. So you can kind of like, so you have an idea what the book's saying this card is for, but also what I am getting when I personally look at this with the energies that I'm getting. And he's like, this is already insane. And he messages me the other day. He goes, so, about that reading, you said that there was going to be some kind of internal conflict with something. And then something happened. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not going to do it. And I was like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's weird. I'm keeping everything in mind. I'm like, let me know, because I know about as much as you right now. This is like my first...
And I don't know if somebody is kind of like you're planting a seed, you tell somebody something or they read into something and then they start looking for stuff that could be relatable to what they got reading.
Look out for what someone tells you about potential something happening. You got to keep an eye out for it, because then it's an insight. It's not a definite of something to happen.
Your future can always change, and when you give a reading like that, it's something that stays in someone's mind. Like, oh, I shouldn't go on a tractor because it might be dangerous. And they stay off that tractor.
And if they do, then it's not the danger. I mean, it's like basically, you get to the fork in the road, you got to make your own choice. It's an insight of things that could possibly happen.
Okay.
And it's weird how accurate those insights can be.
So, okay. Perfect example. Wednesday, before we did the session, the house cleansing, Tyler and I went to my friend Russ's house and we meditated before we went to the rental property, which is right down the road. And in my meditation, I am sitting there and I see a solid black figure. And that's how spirits come to me, is I ask them to be shielded. I don't want to see them just pop up into my face and be like, hey, what's up? Like a dark shadow is what I need. And then I'll allow you to come in or not. It was so quick that he stood up, or the spirit was there, and then they were gone. But then I started seeing like a reddish-brown tractor. And I kind of thought maybe it was Russ's grandfather, because he's connected a couple times to me. And I said to Tyler, I really don't have a good feeling about this red-brownish looking tractor.
Russ wasn't even there yet.
And Russ wasn't even there yet. So Russ gets there, and he starts messing around on the farm because the kid doesn't know how to sit still for the life of him.
He disappeared out of nowhere.
Right.
And then you just see Russ just hauling up on his tractor.
Right. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the tractor. That's the exact tractor that I was looking at. And I had gotten mad at him because I gave him some stones to wear to protect him, and he hadn't worn them in a long time. So I was like, well, all right, well, you don't want to wear your rocks. I'm not gonna tell you about this tractor. And
Talk you out of that real quick.
And Tyler's like, we can't do that. I'm like, oh,
I was like,
damn it, you're right.
If there's going to be any kind of karma, if we know something that we get and we don't say anything.
Russ comes over. I'm like, hey,
U-turn.
do me a favor. Don't go back on that tractor. It came to me in a vision. I'm not really getting like a true good vibe off of it. And he's like, oh, that's funny. He's like, because the thing almost killed me 2 days ago. And I'm like, huh. Maybe.
Yeah, he comes up he's on his phone. Yeah, this thing just almost killed me 2 days ago.
Yeah, like not paying attention to what's
Just
going on.
scrolling
I was like, hey,
Facebook.
maybe I might be onto something, and you stay off the damn tractor. Not like he doesn't have 17 other tractors on that property that can do the same damn thing.
You know what's weird? I don't think he was going to listen to you. It wasn't until...
You're starting to get to know him.
It wasn't until we went to the other house, and then we came and we were out there, and I'm like, stay off that tractor. And he's like, you think so? And I was like,
yeah.
If what I found is accurate to what we just experienced, don't go near that tractor. And he's like, huh, okay. Like, I think he was going to listen to me more because I don't know him.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, he pushes my boundaries some days. And he's like, what do you feel about this? I don't know. What's the situation? I can't just... what is this, first of all? Like, you can't just ask me what's going to happen today. I don't know. You're going to probably poop at some point. Like, that's... Like, do you want to pull your tarot? Do you want me to, like, sit for you? Because that's a lot to ask of somebody any day. Mm-hmm. And I have to tell you, we left there. I was exhausted that night, man. I came home, slept like poo, though. I will be very honest. I slept like garbage that night.
That night, I don't even know if I know I talked to you about it today. I had a dream that I got a headache, in that building. And then I didn't even say that.
Exactly where I started
That's right,
getting
I'm
a
like,
headache.
by any chance, you got a headache at Russ's, right? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, did it happen to be, like, underneath, like, the attic pull down and, like, the 2 bedrooms, like, in that, like, triangular spot? She's like, yeah. And I'm like,
Interesting.
because I'd had a dream I was in that spot, immediate headache, and I had a headache all day until I was finally decided I'm gonna take something.
What's with you having dreams of returning back to places with potential dark
Could be a
energy?
message.
I mean,
Could
I
be a
have no
warning.
interest of going back to that place. There's really nothing left for us to do if we can't. And I warned Russ. I was like, I might not be powerful enough to do this. This might be something that
So-
you're gonna have to hire like a true exorcist to come out here and do this.
My dreams are very specific when I
That's why I'm asking, because you
very, very specific, and the fact that they line in with things that happen to other people, and I'm like, huh.
and yourself.
I'm gonna say that's part of my gift.
Yeah,
Honestly, like
clairvoyance. You're able to see. I know.
Tarot said it. By the end, my end result is gonna be the gift of vision, which is
Yeah.
clairvoyancy.
I thought you were supposed to cast spells. You're a healer.
Speaking of which, we gotta find out when the next class at Luna's is.
Yeah, I checked your website this week and it still said that the last one was there.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get you a staff or something.
We have one from Halloween.
You know, Glenn makes fun of me for this whole healer thing, and you do too. But the next time,
Yes!
next time there's a straw somewhere you don't want it, I'm the only one that can pull it out.
It's
Is
your
that
job.
Is that the type of healing you're supposed to do?
Come here, let's see if it works.
Sheesh.
Make fun of me all you want. When it's the team saving grace, you guys won't make fun of me anymore.
You're still gonna be the girlfriend who just wants to play. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. You're the one with the long lush. Your hair's longer than mine.
That's because you just got a haircut.
Hey guys, my girlfriend wants to play Guild Wars. Yeah, make her a healer.
My mom wants me to get a haircut. And yeah.
Don't do it. Keep your hair long.
Why? So you can keep busting his butt?
No, because I miss my hair. And I'm living through it.
I want hair while I can have hair. Okay.
Yes, do that.
Everyone's
You
like,
had hair while you had hair.
Huh?
You had hair when you had hair.
It's I get either like both those sides. I'm like, cut your damn hair, and I'm just like, eh. And then I have other people that's like, just have it as long as you can until you can't have hair anymore. And I'm like, I like that.
I don't think you're ever gonna go bald though.
No, don't say that. I was his age. I still had a full head of hair.
No, you were balding at that point. Yes, you were.
I still had. Nope, my hair was
Where's
still.
our wedding photos?
My hair was still good right up until I turned 31. Then all of a sudden, this horseshoe started right here.
I don't think I don't know.
What?
I don't know if I'm gonna go bald. I hope I don't.
Anybody in your mom's family?
Not that I can think of. I mean, my grandmother, like, her hair started to get like really thin.
That's age for women.
Yeah.
If I follow my dad, this will be gray in 5 years. Just
Okay.
You see all that gray? That's me.
That's my wife.
You see all this gray? That's him.
No.
I don't see your grays.
Oh, it's there.
There's
Oh.
maybe like one little patch.
Ooh, you're cute.
I'm just.
No.
Flattery will get you
If
nowhere.
I part my hair directly down the center, it's like wink all over.
That's one thing I like about blonde hair. Grays aren't nearly as noticeable as dark hair.
The only thing that's good about this
Until
red
it
beard
starts-
is it'll take a long time before it fully goes gray.
Until like a lot of grays start pulling in, it's gonna be very hard.
These I don't have to worry about them going gray.
I mean,
'cause
I
they're
really
gone.
don't care about going gray. I'm 35. It's natural progression of age, right? Like, what am I gonna do? Keep dyeing my hair? Do you know how expensive that is? I'm not made of money.
That's why I just buzz my head and like fuck it.
I'm not buzzing my head.
That's two.
I'm losing my head. So what?
It's two.
What's two?
Dropping the F-bomb.
Oh. Well, you're welcome.
2.5.
2 3/4. Yes. So, I don't know. This just weird. It's just a weird week. Like, I'm... Whoa!
Oh, God, Fritz, you laying eggs
No,
again?
it's Ariot. Okay, this dog's butt is unbelievably gnarly. Whew. Golly!
Little
Ooh.
ass demons.
I swear, God. I think it knock a buzzard off a chuck wagon. God. Anyway, back to weird.
Now we got rid of the Holy Ghost over there.
Yeah, the Holy Ghost has exited the building. Has left the chat because of my dog's bark. Golly. That's disgusting. I don't know how this dog is alive. There's obviously something dead in there. It's got to be at this point.
There's puppy farts.
Yeah, he's 8 months. He shouldn't still be having puppy farts.
I'm 37. I still shouldn't be having puppy farts.
Yo, there has been some powerful things coming out of you. I'm completely sidetracked now. What?
Weird week. It's a weird week.
Yep.
See? I mean, at least
I was trying to get us back on track.
Thank you. At least we weren't as weird as we were last week. Last week we were flying by the seat of our pants. This week we've had just so much happen.
It's been eventful.
Somebody reached out about a haunted doll, and I'm like,
Yeah, that one was a little too far away for us to even consider, so we had to send...
25 hours by car, not super ideal.
Yeah, so we had to make sure that we gave her...
It's so cool that someone reached out to us from there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no,
absolutely.
absolutely.
And after I found that out, I'm like, I mean, we're in New York, New Jersey, PA. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a bit of a...
But you still sent her help and where she can
Right.
try to find other people like us.
Yeah, I
or-
even told her how the website worked. I'm like,
Yep.
just breaks it down by state. Reach out to one of them if they don't answer, or they're asking you for money. Just click the contact us at the top of the page. They'll take care of it.
Yep. Yeah. So it's not
Is
like
that-
it's
it's
not
all
like we
free?
didn't help, you know. We definitely.
I did the best I could given the distance.
Absolutely.
Given the scenario, too.
That would have been
A
heavy
very-
lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Word to the
Thank-
wise: if you're ever gifted an item or a doll or something, and they say there's a little child that lives in the doll.
Not a
First of
little
all,
child.
it's not a child.
Probably not.
Good.
Good possibility.
I don't want to say definite, just because.
Err on the side of
things can
caution and
happen.
don't take it.
Yeah, just it's better to assume it's not a child.
Yeah.
Always have your guard up.
Yes.
I never look the gift horse in its mouth.
If you're ever told anything by a spirit, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, they like to lie a lot. Especially something that tries to attach to a doll.
A genuine spirit that was on Earth.
Right.
Probably won't
So
lie.
if you have a human spirit trying to talk to you, totally different story. If this spirit has never been a human, and you don't know the difference,
How's anybody?
well, that's
you
why.
usually don't until it's
yeah,
too late,
you- yeah.
or you can, unless you're Lorraine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if Luna can pick up on something like that on a dime. I honestly don't know. I hope one day we get the opportunity to know by having her on an investigation.
Oh, I
But
love
she's great.
that. I mean, we're most likely going to get Jean, my animal communicator, on an investigation as well. I sent her the list of everything, so hopefully she'll get back to me in the next couple of days and we can find out when we can bring her in on an investigation. I would love to take her to Burnbrae.
I'm not opposed to. If any psychic or medium reaches out and they're like, hey, I want to do that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. We say yes.
I
The
don't think
more-
there's.
the
I
more
don't think
power
there's
we
anything.
have.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with guest investigators like that.
The more mediums, the more power that is in a location, the more it's going to pull.
Yep.
Okay. I would relate it to like a battery.
We are human batteries.
True that.
That's why after an investigation,
We're
the battery is drained.
Zapped.
Like, we both left Russ's and we're sitting there, like, yawning. It's like,
It was hard getting home.
it was only 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, it
Only
was,
8 o'clock and what, 35 minutes away or something like that?
Yeah.
felt
it
longer
was-
than that.
Yeah, it was a hard drive keeping my eyes open coming back here because you expel so much energy
And
while taking in energy around you. It's just it weakens you so much. I mean, I'm usually not the type of person to finish anything on my plate. I damn near licked the gloss off the plate at dinner. I've never. I mean, ask Glenn. We've been out to dinner hundreds of times before, and I'll usually leave something on my plate.
Yeah,
I don't even think there was syrup left on my plate. Like, there was nothing.
I mean, I don't know about you, but whenever we leave an investigation, like even though I'm zapped, I'm still thinking and playing the night over and over.
Oh,
it's like,
absolutely.
what happened in this scenario?
Yep.
Right.
Like, what was that? Why was I being pulled to this location at this time while this was going on over here and someone else was over here doing something else?
Because you're making sure that you're committing it to memory. That's why.
I haven't been able to stop thinking about Russ's.
Yeah. That whole situation is just really weird. Like, why would there be 2 Ouija boards? Why would they have sage in front of them? Like, it just...
Yeah,
Too many
Saging a
unanswered
board
questions.
is not necessarily a bad thing, but the fact that they were just hovering and sitting, or the board was like kind of like hovering over, not hovering, but like it was the sage was sitting in front of it.
Yeah, not only that. I mean, you got the symbolism, and then the candles buried upside down. Like, what does that all mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know what candles buried upside down mean.
Can't be a good omen. Anything buried upside down like that can't be a good omen.
I still think there's a lot more than what was meeting the eye there.
Oh, yes.
Very well could be. There could be something placed around the grounds of that building.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Underneath,
Yeah, it's definitely...
there's something underneath.
I keep getting pulled up top, but it might be because of whatever is trapped up in that attic.
Like I kept looking at the attic door, so like I guess I was being pulled up there in a sense, but only when I was inside. When we were outside, it's like underneath. What's under there?
Well,
There's something underneath.
One thing that was weird, I think I mentioned to you too, we were sitting on the outside of that house, and I just felt like the need to keep looking up the attic window that was boarded up. Like, you know, when
I
somebody's
took
hanging over a
pictures of the one
balcony.
side. I don't think there was anything there, but the second house.
Yeah, there was
There's
some
some
stuff up there.
weird things.
Oh, after the podcast, I like to see them.
Well, I mean, it is 8 o'clock, so...
Yeah, we can make this one a short one tonight.
Yeah. And there's only one viewer left. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a very happy 4th of July.
Be
Independence
safe.
Day. Be very safe. Don't play with Ouija boards this weekend. Don't play with Ouija boards ever.
Focus on blowing COVID out of here completely.
Yeah. And have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
See you later.